WiSP Sports Radio, the voice of women in sport.
Hello, and thank you for downloading Ruck On here on WiSP Sports. I'm Chris Stafford, and this week I'm joined by Naya, who is actually on tour at the moment in South Africa, fresh from a tournament in Dubai, and she joins me before she heads into the next tournament in South Africa. They're in Cape Town, aren't you, Naya?
Yes, thank you for inviting me again to talk to you.
Always a pleasure, of course. Well, congratulations on your tries in the tournament there in Dubai.
Thank you.
How was the experience for you, Naya?
For me, I think it was a little different in terms of the other tournaments that I have been to, with it being a 3-day tournament. So with the 3-day tournament, we had one game the first day, 2 games the second day, and then 3 games the third day. Personally, I didn't like it that much, and I could probably say that a lot of the other players from all the teams would agree, but it is what it is, and we're just happy to be able to do the tournament with the men and do the tournament in general. So you kind of get over some of the little naggy things and just be grateful for what you do get. But playing wise, the tournament was up for most of the time for the USA women's team. Our first day we played Brazil, and we got the result we wanted, even though I think we didn't perform as well as we wanted to against that team. But day 2 we played Russia and we played Canada, and with those 2 teams we also got the results we wanted. I think those 2 games showed a better example of what we had been training for so long before we got to this tournament. So I feel like those first 2 days were very successful for us. We got our 3 pool games and topped our pool. So that was, I think, one of the first goals, is winning those first 3 games to make sure that we get ourselves into the quarterfinals, and we did that. Day 3, we started our first game against Russia again, and again we got the results we wanted. We had certain principles that were very common each day for each game that we took into each of those games. After the win against Russia, you could probably say a lot of the girls were on this kind of high, because 4 straight wins, I think any team would be. And then we kind of got humbled a little bit in our 5th game against New Zealand. They really kicked our ass in that game, and they came ready and prepared. And I think, speaking personally, maybe we got away from the earning part of the game a little bit going into that game. We kind of felt we deserved it, and that maybe showed in how we played against them. I don't think we really found our groove in that game, which if watching it, you could probably see, especially knowing that we have beat that team before. So to see us perform how we did in that moment, it wasn't really representative of what we wanted to show the world as the USA Women's Rugby team. But even with that game, we went from that low to another high and just showed how even if we got knocked down, we could get back up, which we have been showing for so long. But for the past couple of tournaments, we've been really high. So to have that humbling moment and then get back to where we started, I think that was really good for us. And we were able to show in that last game against Australia that we can be consistent and that we represent well what we try to portray, which is being brave and being able to go out there and put on good rugby for ourselves, for our family, friends, our staff, and for all the rugby fans that were watching. that game against Australia felt really good for a lot of the girls. I think I can say we forced a lot of turnovers, which is a good pat on the back for us because that is one of our philosophies is doing whatever we have to do to get the ball back. And we know that if we can keep the ball, that there's a really high percentage that we will win that game. So I think for this tournament, just to wrap it up, having gotten first place 2 times in a row and then having gotten third in this tournament in Dubai, I think we kind of had an expectation and a standard for ourselves that we didn't reach, but we also had to understand that there was a lot of good that came out of that tournament, and that third place is not bad at all. Like we've been worse. We've been in worse places. So just trying to find that balance between you're not always going to be the top and you're not always going to be the bottom. You never know where you can end up in 7. So always being grateful for every win, regardless of where you place. So I think that tournament was good for us for a lot of reasons, good and bad. So I think now we're in Cape Town and we've done our analysis of what we did in Dubai and what we needed to fix and what things we needed to keep. We had our first training session since we've been here in Cape Town today, and it went really well. So I think if we can flush Dubai and focus on Cape Town and be present with where we're at now and go out there and do what we've been training to do and what we know we're capable of, this tournament should be really good for our team as long as we go out there and do what we have been training and what we know we can do. So.
Well, the level of competition is so high. It's incredible standard because there's so many good teams, aren't there? You know, you all have your highs and lows with each tournament, but, you know, Canada played really well. They made it there to face off with New Zealand. And Australia, you mentioned as well, they're always up there, you know, with you. I think it seems to me when you're playing over, you know, few days like this, that fitness must play an incredibly important part in that tournament.
Yeah, and I think it's less fitness, more just recovery and how you're taking care of your body when you're not playing or you're not training. Especially with these 3-day tournaments, our bodies aren't used to that. Our bodies aren't used to back-to-back tournaments. This is our first time doing this. So going into Cape Town, we'll be able to see what effect that has on our body. Right now, for me personally, I can say I feel great. I don't feel the effects of the past tournament right now. I'm blessed to say, so I'm hoping that I can go into this tournament and be very effective for my team, and that fatigue or breakdown won't occur. And I hope a lot of the girls on my team and all the other teams feel the same, just so that it is a good tournament. But I think the staff does a really good job with monitoring us and making sure that our bodies are good, that we're doing the things we need to do to make sure that we're ready to perform on Friday, even with all the work that we just did this past weekend. Today, our training session meter-wise was really good. Our staff was really happy about that. So we're moving well. Our bodies are getting taken care of. Our staff is going the extra mile to make sure we have massages, which we're very grateful for. Making sure we're doing pool recovery and making sure that they're available for us for whenever we need them, so that we can make sure that we can give the performance that we want to have this weekend in Cape Town. So hopefully fatigue won't be too much of an issue.
Well, hopefully not. No, tell us about the makeup of your squad then. How many players you have and what does your support crew comprise of? Tell us about the staff. How many you are altogether?
Yeah, so we have 13 players, 12 get rostered, and then we have a reserve. Along with the players, we have our strength and conditioning coach, Matt. So he'll do our recovery sessions, he'll do our gym sessions, and our warm up sessions for trainings and for games. And then we have Warren Abrahams, that's our assistant coach. He helps Brownie, which is our main coach. And you kind of know what they do. They're kind of give you feedback, here for feedback. They run the training sessions, and they're there on the sideline coaching us through the games. We also have Nicole Titmus, that is our athletic trainer, and she also works with Matt to make sure that we're getting the recovery we need. She does taping for us, any extra treatment that we may need outside of training and outside of massages. And then we also have Liz, she's our manager, and the list of things that she does for us goes on and on and on. Like, I think she is somebody that we have to show appreciation for every day, because I don't think anything would operate correctly if she wasn't here. She's kind of what metaphor can I use for her?
Sounds like your mama on the road.
Yeah, mama on the road, mama off the road, mama everywhere. Like the mom of the whole team, including the coaches. She does everything. She's amazing. So that's our staff. Really great staff. I think that's what helps make the team so good.
Yeah, it's key, isn't it? It's absolutely critical, the team that you have behind you. Now, just set this tour in context, Naya, for the season as we get to the end of the year here now. Obviously, this will be the last one for 2019, I imagine, before the Olympic qualifications start and you ramp things up heading to Tokyo. But let's put this year in context of where these tournaments fit, really, because as you said, you've won before earlier in the year, and you've had a couple of wins and now a bronze. So just set it in context for us, and what you need to wrap out the year to feel good about heading into 2020.
Yeah, I think the start of the season was amazing for us, especially coming off the long season we had before, where we were performing so well. To show that we could still be consistent after having that 3 weeks to 2 months of a break, and also having some athletes go from the Sevens Series to Pan Ams, being able to see us bounce back and go to Colorado and do an amazing job there, and then take a preseason off of training, a preseason to just train after Colorado and get ready for Dubai, go to Dubai and medal, and then now be in Cape Town ready to go. I think medaling in this tournament will be probably the icing on the cake for us to end the year, especially because we haven't done a back-to-back tournament yet. So to show that our bodies can perform at the same efforts as we did in Dubai, if not better, then that would probably be the best way to end the season for the team and for the staff as well.
For everybody, I'm sure. Now, just to remind everybody how many teams, you've got 12 teams, or there were in the series.
Yes,
how many of those teams, will they play every tournament? Will they be in South Africa?
Yeah, so in South Africa, it'll be, I think, 11 of the same teams. And then I think the bottom team from Dubai gets traded out for the South African women's team here in Cape Town.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
so yeah. I think
so that would be Brazil then.
Yep.
That are relegated.
Yeah, I think so. So I know the South Africa women's team will be playing, not sure who they're replacing, but they played in Dubai the past years. So I think because now we're in Cape Town, it's easier for them to just come to this tournament than to go to Dubai.
Okay. And now, what about the format for South Africa? Is it still going to be the same, 1, 2, 3 over 3 days?
Yes, ma'am. So we'll be here with the guys again, and it'll be a 3-day tournament. So it'll start on Friday with one game for everybody, and then Saturday is 2 games, and Sunday is 3 games, and then we'll head back on Monday.
On Monday, okay. And in terms of selection, then, do you always start, Naya? I mean, you're part of the main roster, obviously. So you always know that you're going to be starting the game?
No. So you don't really.
Okay.
With how I have observed Brownie, you can never predict who he's going to put on the field for each game. You kind of don't know until maybe an hour before the game, and it's never the same 7 each time. So I think he really thinks about how each player can be effective depending on who we're playing, and he will put those 7 people in for that game depending on the opponent. That's the one different thing that I've had to learn from him, is that each team is going to be different, and that the starters will not be the same for each team, which I can understand because every team has a way to be broken down. So if you can find the perfect players to break that team down, it may not always be the same 7. So no, I don't.
Okay. Well, we should remind everybody, if they weren't paying attention, that you did score 2 tries in Dubai. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Are you happy with your running speed right now?
My speed right now?
Your speed.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Do you think you ever get any faster? Because it just seems to me that the fitter and more powerful you become, that you actually do get faster.
Honestly, do not know, because we don't time ourselves that much. And I feel like sprinting speed is a lot different than rugby speed when you have the ball in your hands and things like that. Or maybe you're angry. I feel like when you're angry, you run faster. So there's just so many different things that can affect that. But I don't know if I've gotten faster. I would say I'm consistent.
Yeah, good. Well, I think you should go back on the track and time a few sprints to see if you were how much faster you were when you were in college a few years ago now. I can imagine you wouldn't want to mess with you once you get mad and you're running down the wing and pushing people out of the way. No, I wouldn't want to stand in your way, Naya. No, not at all. Not at all. All right. Well, I'm sure you're excited about moving into this next tournament here and getting, fine-tuning this and knowing what you need to work on. So what would you say your biggest takeaways are from Dubai then for yourself as a player that you're going to take to this next tournament?
So I'd probably say I have 2 things. So my first thing would be to probably try to keep myself out of the middle of the field as much as I can, in order to conserve energy to be more effective on the edges. I feel like sometimes I'll get stuck in the middle and I'll run myself tired to where when I do get those opportunities or those one-on-ones, I don't have the energy. So I think forcing myself to get to the outside to where I'm most effective will be very important in this next tournament. And then my other work on would probably be just trying to give more efforts. So treating each game as if I was a madman. I've realized that I play a lot better when I'm angry. And I think finding more intent before my games and getting myself a little more hyped up and motivated for each game, regardless of who we're playing or regardless of if one of my teammates or my coach pissed me off 5 minutes before. I feel like I want to make sure I'm going into that each game with that same attitude, because I've realized that I perform a lot better. So those are probably my 2 work-ons for this tournament.
Get you mad somehow, Naya. Well, I have an idea. How about putting a punch bag, a boxing punch bag in the locker room,
that might help.
And you guys can warm up with that and take that punch out onto the field. Well, I'm sure you'll enjoy every minute of it, and I hope it goes well again, Naya, and you come away with another medal. Any medal is good, as you say, but I know you like the color of one particularly, but the very best of luck. I hope it goes really well, Naya, and we'll catch you afterwards. We'll catch up when you get back from California to California after South Africa, and enjoy the sunshine. I know you will.
Yeah, I will. I'm gonna go to the beach tomorrow, so it'll be good.
Awesome. All right. Well, all the very best, my friend, and thanks for taking time to do this.
No problem. Thank you.
All right. You can follow Naya on social media. Just remind them what your social media address is, Naya.
It's at Naya Tapper. That's NayaTapper.
Okay, that's how you can follow Naya. I recommend following her on Instagram as well, because she's very active. She posts some great pictures on Instagram.
Thank you.
Happy holidays from WiSP Sports.
And of course, you can follow us at WiSP Sports as well. And you can also contact us if you want directly by emailing info@wisports.com. Our website is wisports.com, where you can find a lot more coverage from around the world of women's sport. So until the next time, thank you for listening. Goodbye for now.